those green candles are going to the moon. What's going on, guys? It's Justin from Push and Profit, and in this video we're going to be talking about ticker symbol NIO, NIO. So what's going on? So we're going to be talking about a few things. Now obviously we see this major uptrend that NIO has. You guys could see that I had this little resistance drawn out, and I mapped out where if NIO broke above this resistance, I was going to enter into NIO. Unfortunately, I did not enter into NIO, so I missed out on this big play, right? But I want to talk about why it may not be too late to enter into NIO, and also talk about a few things that we need to watch out for, right? Now, NIO, since the low of $30.57, has pretty much went up almost 74%. If we kind of just get a little drawing tool right here, about 74%, which is insane, right? From the high that we recently had at $66.99. So what made these candles, go ballistic today? Well, NIO went up 6% today, based on some news of some analysts from Citibank raising its price target and keeping its buy rating, right? So, we have these analysts from these big firms and companies, and essentially, they're still saying that NIO is a buy, and they raised the price target from $58 to now $72, which is, a very bullish sentiment. It's very optimistic considering the fact that we have this high of $66. So, the sentiment is that, NIO is projected to break above $66, which is great because if NIO does do that, let's say NIO goes from the area where it's at today around $53 all the way to, let's go ahead and go to 72 if we could even go that far on the chart. If we could zoom out, we can't really zoom out that much, but that's already an additional 33% plus more, right? Because we couldn't zoom out as far as I'd like to. So that's something we have to take into consideration. That's really good news. Now, something else that's important is that we're possibly going to get some more news tomorrow, right? So at the time of this video, it is June 30th. It's actually probably going to be uploaded at midnight, so it's technically going to be June 31st when this video is actually released. But NIO pretty much releases its month deliveries totals shortly at the end of the month, and of course the 31st will be the end of the month, meaning we could see we could possibly see NIO's results for June as soon as Thursday morning, right? So it's pretty good. Maybe we're gonna see some good numbers. NIO has been pretty much delivering more and more than expected, despite the chip shortage that we have. If you're unaware, we have been having a chip shortage in America, along with a chicken wing shortage, which is kind of unique, right? But let's go ahead and go into the technicals. I feel like I kind of talked a little bit too much about the fundamental catalysts that could affect NIO, in regards to the production of the cars and also the ratings that analysts have provided for NIO. So let's go ahead and talk about something. So NIO can keep going up, right? As you know, the rocket does not stop, right? Well, actually it does. But let's go ahead and talk about what we need to watch out for. So over here, if we can kind of zoom in, we see that NIO actually really hit a high of $53.84, but the body of the candle didn't close at that area. That just ended up being a wick, and the body was around this area of $53.08. Well, that looks like that could have possibly been a resistance, because if we kind of go back a little and zoom in slightly and we draw this horizontal line, notice how when we go to the top of that wick, it looks like this is a possible resistance, right? So let's go ahead and look at that. In the past, it looks like it has been resistance, then it ended up breaking above it, then it ended up being somewhat of a resistance, coming down, breaking above it, and then we see it becoming a support, going up, breaking down, resistance. So we could clearly see history with this horizontal line of providing itself as a support and a resistance. Now, something that we talk about on this channel all the time is, it's a resistance and a support does not mean that the stock has to adhere to it. A stock could simply break through a resistance or could break through a support, right? It's not a forever, line, right? Things change, right? So we gotta be mindful of, the fact that NIO can possibly break above this resistance, but we also gotta see that, hey, NIO may kind of come down tomorrow. Now, even if it comes down tomorrow, it does not necessarily mean that it's time to short NIO. 100%. Maybe you could short it as a day trade, but in a long-term trade, it may not be ideal to short NIO. As we can see in the past, we had days where NIO is just flying upwards, then, with some down days, then with some more days flying up, then some down days flying up. As we know, the stock market, stocks go up and down. Well, when we have, a couple of days of, or a few days of the stock just rallying up, it is expected for a pullback. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to go all the way down, but most likely we can see maybe touching this area at most of $47.70. Now, that does not mean that it has to do that, but let's go ahead and take a look at this area. This is another interesting area, so I want to draw like a horizontal line so we could kind of get like a better visual representation, and we could see a little history of this line in the past before, with it somewhat being a resistance. So I'm looking for the fact that it is possible that NIO may kind of bounce down from this resistance. In my humble opinion, I don't think NIO will touch 47, but that is an area to look at. But NIO most likely will go down in the next coming days, and then probably go up, right? Just as we've seen previously. Now, again, we just got to be cautious. Again, something that I always talk about is trade with the trend. The trend is your friend, and as long as we're above the exponential moving average, then we are solid for an uptrend on a smaller time frame, and we're still above the simple moving average. So even on a longer time frame, we are in a good trend. So that's something we just have to take a look at. Now, again, as I always say, mitigate your risks. Make sure that if you are entering a position, that this is either a day trade, a swing trade, or a long-term investment. I think that's something that a lot of individuals get confused on. And also watch out for your position size. With that being said, let me know what your thoughts are on NIO. Are you already in a position? Do you plan to enter? Do you think it's too high? Are you waiting for the dips? It's good information that we should definitely talk about in the comment section below. I will try to respond to as many of you as I can. Let's see what tomorrow brings with the monthly delivery reports. And with that being said, guys, my name is Justin from Push and Profit. Make sure to check out the links in the description, and I'll see you on the next video.